in Trouble is a theatre dance project that I've been working on for the last 2 years, which explores the economic, environmental, political and social impact that fossil fuels have on our lives today. So in early 2014, I brought on board director Lisa Goldman, choreographer Ben Duke and composer John Avery to help me explore the subject matter and these issues. Throughout this phase of the project, we've been focusing our energy on the subject of fracking and looking at the impact that fracking would have on the landscape of the UK if it were to happen here.
I didn't know much about fracking before this project. I live quite near Bolcombe in East Sussex, so I'd heard about it and I'd heard about the protests there, and I knew a few people who were kind of taking part in those protests. And actually, I'd also been speaking to a friend who's a dancer who was interested in this idea of fracking, and that started me thinking about, yeah, dance as a medium for looking at stuff. Political stuff, I suppose, which is not normally, I wouldn't say it's the most obvious medium for exploring those things. But there's something about fracking, particularly when it's talked about in terms of energy or finite amounts of energy. I had a conversation with Lisa about the body as the land, you know, like the Fisher King, kind of the idea of like polluting the land being akin to polluting the body, or the health of the body somehow being related to the health of the land. And that used to be connected to an idea of like a ruler, like whoever's in charge, so the moral health of that person who's in charge is then reflected in the harvest or the state of the land. So.
I think it's interesting as a subject to explore for art because it seems to pull so many elements really from the tiny sort of local family relationships and the effect on individuals within a community, to the community itself, to bigger sort of governmental issues, out to bigger kind of global issues that affect everybody, such as why we need growth to be at 2% a year, and why, you know, capitalism is so kind of short-term in its search for profits, and why we're living in a society that's based on short-term greed rather than long-term need.
No, I mean, I guess it wouldn't be a eureka moment, but I really enjoy looking at some of the things that I'm unfamiliar with in terms of how Lisa would work, like this idea of developing characters through asking questions or getting characters to kind of reenact memories, even though they're improvising and I really enjoyed seeing that and seeing how, yeah, you kind of believe this stuff that is just being made up and it's just appearing in front of you.
I started writing some sort of very sketchy scenes, really, just as my way of trying to develop a narrative, and that was around the idea of this family that goes, you know, 3 generations of a family. So there's the mother, her son and his daughter living in this little house which backs onto a field, and the field becomes a kind of site of conflict. This week we've been exploring the family, the dynamic in the family, the field and what it means to each of them, and particularly has come into focus what it means to the little girl who kind of goes down into the field, into the earth, and explores a world that's underneath the field. So it's also been about us trying to get a sense of one another's aesthetic and be open to whatever kind of comes from that.